All right, hello and welcome. This is going to be a Kinship percent attempt. If no matter what happens, we're gonna finish this run, however long it takes, and let's hope for a fantastic run. Let's get this started when I hit the create new save button. Let's go. Now, welcome to GRIME. If you don't know what GRIME is, it is a Metroidvania action role-playing game. You star as this lovely little creature named Grime who has a black hole for a head. And that's the main gimmick of the game. I'm going to be absorbing things into that black hole as the game progresses. But first, I got to pull myself together, because in the scene I skipped, I get created and then dropped and shattered into a bunch of pieces and got to pull myself back together for 48 seconds. So, this game is challenging, this game is fun. I have loved learning how to speedrun it, and I hope that we're going to have a good run here. This first area is called the Weeping Cavity, and it's the tutorial area. The level design in this game is very, very good in the sense that it trains you on everything you need to know in the levels you're in, and as you get new abilities, those abilities will be used in the following area to make sure you know exactly what you're doing going forward. The game is extremely challenging. The bosses are brutal and merciless, and some of them fear you. Actually, some of them don't really you're not their favorite person, because you're here to destroy the world and everyone who gets in your way. This first character we meet is a guy named by the name of Yawn, and Yawn is a little rockhead who is very frustrated with his position in the world, and he decides that he's found a proportionate, beautiful creature that could help him out. So he's gonna help me out to start out with. He's run off to find me a weapon, but I'm gonna find this one first. And this rockhead's not gonna behave tonight. That's fine. That's perfect. There's a little secret up here that if the little guy bends forward, he provides a good stepping stool, but sometimes he decides to fall backwards, and you gotta work a little bit to get that. So the item I got up there gives me a hunt point. The hunt point is something that I will use to gain special abilities throughout the game, mainly 3 of them. So really, if you're playing a casual run, you might collect 5 or 6 hunt points. I'm only going to collect 3. No, I'm going to collect 4, and only use them on 3 different abilities. The reason I'm stopping to fight this guy is also because he gives a hunt point. So there's 2 hits there. And the reason I dash in front of him is because he, if I stand behind him after he does his little dash, he takes a minute and thinks about whether or not he actually wants to attack us or not. And I don't have time for that. So, and there's his brother here. Same deal. Dash back in front because they'll attack me quicker. So I've got my first 3 hunt points. And then I'm gonna go over here and grab our first upgrade material, which is a blood metal splinter. If you've ever played any soul style games, anything like that, it's the currency used to level up your weapons, and I will need 4 of each stage of upgrade that I want to do. But thankfully, there's a lot in the path on the run. And I made it out of that. Sweet. I shouldn't have to take too many detours to get them. And then one last little section here, and we'll be at the first boss. Whoops. Just dodge all these little guys, and we are almost here. Now, the first boss hides in this head, so I gotta smack it and wake him up. Then we're gonna go over here, and if you've been paying attention to the enemies I've killed, they do this very action. So the boss is starting with an attack that you should recognize if you've been going through the level at a reasonable pace. There we go. And then he starts stomping his hands down. He gives me the opportunity to smack his eye, and then he gets mad. And if he behaves here, we'll be out of here in no time. If my stamina behaves, we'll be out of here in no time. There we go. So that's the first boss down. I didn't get a great pattern, but it is what it is. Now, he is the only boss that really gives an ability that isn't super useful for the run. It's an ability that, if you keep it maxed out, gains you more experience. And that's really not something we are really going to use much, because I'm going to destroy... I'm not going to kill that many enemies, and I'm not going to I'm going to destroy my vessel, which sets it back to 0 a few times. We get to this section here. I communicate with something at the top of the world, and we cause a bunch of stuff to fall out of the sky. You know, normal things. And then I'm gonna just scooch over here and fall, because falling is the fastest way to travel in Grime. But it's not without a risk. If you fall too hard and fast, you will shatter and be sent right back up to the top. The thing I just punched is called a surrogate. It is like a bonfire in Dark Souls, where we do all of our stat upgrades and abilities we gained. The ability I just gained is called Frail Arm, and basically whenever I parry an enemy, I get a little stamina back. I'm gonna let him hit me. And hope I get one more hit in. There we go. Because I need his ability, so I needed to absorb him. Then over here, I've got to go get the weapon that we need for the rest of the run. And then ask this guy for a hug. He didn't want to give me a hug. So we're back here, and now we keep going. Into probably one of the more lovely scenic locales with a lot of faces behind you. If you notice there in the background, there's a lot of faces in those rocks, and hands, and other body parts. Gonna do a little dodgeroonie up here to get that. And that's gonna hurt. Don't know why he wasn't following me, but is what it is. And just dodge around. I am gonna stop and punch one guy. Oh, nice. Nice. I'm gonna have to take a safety surrogate up here, because I don't want to screw this up. The ranged units in this game are very, very accurate. They're very good at figuring out where you're going to be standing and where they need to aim their shot. So here's a rockhead, and he at first greets me into Lithic because he thinks I'm one of them, and then quickly realizes that I'm actually proportionate, which means I have a head that is smaller than the rest of my body, basically. And he runs off to get his mother because he thinks the Carven are back. The Carven are a group of proportionate rock folk that have in the past come down here to get rock and boulder heads to make their servants up at the Carven Palace. And for some reason, which I'm not entirely sure of, the moms, which are these two plant-like beings we're going to be fighting here in a little bit, decided to take pity on them and block off Lithic from the World Pillar and Carven Palace, and we're going to get ready to destroy all that. And it's probably the saddest thing we do in the game. Because, you know, kind of mean of us to stop the protection of these harmless guys that aren't at all trying to kill me as I go through the town. Nope. Boop. Dodge those two leapers. And he goes and cries to his mama. Or mamas. And he calls me a bad Carven, breaking siblings and ruining Lithic. So Moms gets him out of the way. And then we dance. Now, the best way to do this fight is to switch dance partners often. They both, depending on where you're standing near them, will do a variety of attacks. Most of the time, and so it's just good to keep switching up. We're going a little bit slower than I like to here, because I've gotten some, smacker. Got a little bad RNG on that first half of the fight. And once you take the first one down, the other one gets really mad. And she starts to... Ouch. She starts to hurt me. Now, we're fine as long as she doesn't do that move that she's showing off to everybody. If she does this move, we're fine, but really we want her to do this so I can parry her and do a lot of damage. And there's Moms. So we run over here and we get a nice new ability called Pull. I get to, you know, pull things that are highlighted. Like these platforms and sometimes some enemy abilities. And it's pretty much one of the most important skills you get throughout the game. Which is why it's on a main boss. So here's a small minute. We can't do anything for solid 30 seconds, so I'm gonna take a drink of water. So this elevator takes us up to the world pillar, which is basically the spine of the world. And we're gonna meet a friendly fellow there who calls us by name. He calls us an Aklan. That's what he knows us as. He's expected us to come to this world, but he is not happy that we're here, and still somehow decides it's a good idea to help us. I haven't quite figured out why that is, but by the time he realizes his mistake, it'll be too late. So this big fella, and he has hands within hands. His design is very, very freaky and very, very otherworldly, because like I said, he's got his main big hand, and then within the palm of his hand he has another tiny hand. And it's freaky and weird, and I don't like it. So we upgrade our weapon, and I now have the stats to use this weapon. And like I said, if you fall too hard, you will shatter, so that's why I took kind of a safety grab on the ladder there. And now it's into Nerve Root, where there's a lot of electricity. Whoop, whoop. And I'm trying real hard to get shocked. And I get my next stage of upgrade materials, which is a blood metal shard. And we're just going to drop down here. Oop. And dodge some things. Dodge this guy. Oh, that didn't pull down for some reason. See if I can pick it up before he decides to get wise. Did. This, the weapon that I kind of detoured to go get is a weapon that I'm going to use later to do a small glitch. Basically, if I heavy attack in front of a door, it will, and go to the main menu, it will register that I have passed through that door. And it's really the glitch we use here in GRIME. For this run anyway. But it's a minor glitch. This guy is can be a pain. Why I'm taking some time to stop and pull him, which is faster than I risked it for the biscuit. Which is still faster than stopping to punch him. And the timing on all of these lightning strikes, these electrical bits, is can be sometimes can sometimes slow you down. There, words, I can have them. That little rockhead is taking that up to Shidra to try to bribe Shidra to stop us since we took out Moms. The back end of this area, after you've defeated the boss, you end up meeting a lot of them. But we're not going to see those guys. And we're down here in the Feaster's Lair. Feaster's Lair has a lot of teeth. We're going to be using the teeth to get around and dodge, and they're sharp and pointy and they can hurt. So I'm going to try to not hit any of them. Like that. And see ya. We use some of the teeth to use as platforms. Boop. And we're quick enough to get out of there before that guy spits on us. That actually helps me out because the second ability that I took from the year fledgling, basically every time I parry I get a damage boost, and so I like when that little guy attacks me because it gives me a little boost to take Tongue Brute out faster. And Tongue Brute is the last ability that I'm gonna take. His ability allows me to get a damage boost when I pull an enemy. And since most of the bosses from here on out have some kind of ability that I can pull, it's very, very, very handy ability. So, all the way through here, and drop. And dodge. All those little teeth on the ground are enemies. They will pop up and snap at you if I don't screw up that. And then the next boss, the Vulture. A very stressful boss. He has abilities and is very, very he has abilities. All bosses have abilities. His abilities are very chaotic, and his second phase is also very, very chaotic. So, oh no, oh no, I'm in trouble. Saved it. We'll get over here and get a smack in. Yes, but he's stuck in the wall. Not sure how he's stuck in the wall. And he slams into the wall, and I get a couple more shots at him with those. And second phase. Now, second phase, he summons some worms to do his, well, I say to do his dirty work, but they just help him out. And he still does some of the same things as he did before. For some reason, it tracked him instead of so there's the first one. The second two I can absorb. They have health bars that let me do that, which gives me a damage boost for the fourth one, and hopefully take it out relatively quickly. I like to draw the worms out here because his stomp ability there has quite a bit of range on it. There we go. And that boss is down. So far, so good. That is probably one of the more stressful sections of the run, as if I die at any point during this section, I will go all the way back to the World Pillar. So we got that out of the way. So now we destroy ourselves and go back to the World Pillar. Because we had to do all that to progress with Shidra here. And he is happy that I have received that stone for him. And asks if I'm happy that I feel exhilarated in the hunt. He's basically asking if I'm happy destroying things. And I don't answer because black holes don't talk that I know about. And because we did that, he opens the way and asks us to go fetch something else for him. That big fella I just dashed by was a Carven. And you're gonna start seeing, cages full of rock and boulder heads The little guys carrying the cages are what they get turned into. Who run around and serve the Fidus and all of her minions of Carven Palace. And see, you can see them shaping others in the back to new forms. Now Jan is here, and he is asking for this honor. This is what he has dreamed of, becoming more shapely, more proportionate, and he thinks it's going to make all of his problems, all of his stress go away. And spoiler, it doesn't. Now we're in the servant's path. There's a nice, dangerous little section full of servants that really don't like me, and really don't they want me to get to Carven Palace. So some platforming, some time jumps. Some no look. Oh. I'll shoot. That can happen. I got a little nervous with that red poker. The red poker will, if it connects, will stick in you and do a lot of damage, and will doesn't come out until you dodge out of it. So I got a little in my head there, anticipation of that needle and trying to do something before the time was right. All right. Carven Palace. I'll take the surrogate here because I've got a couple stats I need to put in before we climb it. And I also have to get Tongue Brute. So that 10 in strength allows me to wield the sword. And now we get to use our pull ability a lot. We're going to be pulling these platforms, and that's really the main mechanic. Oh, ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. That's really the main mechanic going up the palace. And I'll do that as revenge for hitting me earlier with it. With one of his pokers. Well, not him specifically. One of his friends. And you do get a little bit of grace before the platform recedes, so I will use that to kind of make my way up here. And grab that, since that's there to be helpful. Oh. Little glitch on my end. Happens sometimes in this area. Not a big deal. So here's where the door glitch is. I heavy attack. I exit to menu, and we go right back in. And I'll even open it for funsies. All right. Here, I've got to dodge another red poker. I'm not happy about it. Basically, if you move when you hear them go, you will, in theory, dodge it. And I'll take care of those two real quick. Pop over here. I got to chase a platform. Whoops. Ooh, saved it. That's guarded by someone with a red poker. And take care of him before he gets any bright ideas. If the platform hits that break, it will shatter, and I've got to go get it again. So you got to pull it away from that. And we'll see if the platform wants to cooperate today. It does. Sweet. Come here. Come on. Let's get away from these meanies. I'm going to come over here for safety and get the elevator and wait for it to pop up. Just to make sure we got it. Because we're going the back way into Fidus's house. Make sure I hit exit to menu instead of destroy vessel, because destroying the vessel would be annoying. Normally we come at this section from the other side, but because of the door glitch, we don't have to do that. So the Shapely Fidus, she's a giant hand with legs and a giant sword. And she is not happy I have stormed Carven Palace. So I've got to bait her a little bit. Well, usually when she gets to the end of the fire, she'll do her opening attack, which is that. And then I've got to bait her a little bit to get her away from the fire, so I have a little more wiggle room to do the fight. She's being very, very nice with her attack pattern. And now we're already on second phase. Now I gotta be careful with my stamina here, because her sword is now red. And as we have learned throughout the game to this point, you cannot parry red things. Now this is very mean, because she does that attack at the beginning and the first phase and gets you comfortable with the idea that you can parry that attack. And then changes it up in the second phase. Alright, there's second phase down. I'll take care of some hazards here. And third phase, she's a mad hand now. She's gonna chase me around till that bar turns red again. Ouch! And that can happen. I got too close to the fire. And that is why we took the elevator, or popped that elevator up at the first top floor like we did. Because that happens. All too often with Fidus. So this very slow and very, very slow elevator. It's fast to get up there when you summon it, but riding it, yeah, it takes its sweet time getting back where we need to go. Of course, we've already opened the door, so don't need to worry about that. And I don't need to worry about baiting her to the middle, because when we get up here, she's already there. So we're just gonna start Getting mean. I got one extra hit just for good measure. Alright, one more strong attack, and I should be able to finish this off. And then we do a better job of not dying. How about that? So just excuse me 1 second. Oh, there I go, dodging into fire again. That's bad, Pine. Yep. Pine, you're bad. I'm bad. Sometimes that happens. That is an unfortunate thing with this fight. Another thing with Grime that I fully believe in is it's a game that once you find the rhythm of the fight, you're fine. If you ever get out of rhythm of the fight, usually by getting hit or running into some trouble like I did there, where I have to kind of panic and escape, it's got to go south very, very quickly. So it's one of those things. It's rough. It happens. Like that. That was a little greedy. I probably didn't need to wait for that, but I wanted to play it safe. Since we've already screwed this fight up twice, let's not do it a third. Whoa! I tried to screw it up again. It's okay. So, what does killing the Shapely Fidus give us? Shapely Fidus gives us ability, so when we pull, we actually get pulled towards certain objects. And now it's okay if I can destroy the vessel. Just gonna run over here and grab this blood shard. And then there's one more I gotta get down here somewhere. So now we get to go under the palace and get the item that Shidra actually wants us to get for him. And we're just gonna make our way down here. And hurt myself a little bit because I'm not thinking about it. Catch that one. Dodge this fellow. Dodge the spikes coming out of the ground. And then a bunch of these wax-headed fellows. Oh, that's me forgetting where I am. And now we enter the garden. This is where the moms are from. The moms came up from the garden to save the little rock and boulder heads. So there are rock and boulder heads also in the back end of this zone, coming down here to try to find another moms that might be able to help them. You also have the servants up here. For some reason. The garden is a terrible, awful place of pain and suffering. I don't recommend it. It's pretty to look at, yes, but hanging around here too long and you'll get eaten by some kind of flower, electrocuted, all kinds of things. So we try to get through this section as quickly as possible. See? There's a lovely flower back there. It has teeth. All the flowers here have teeth. Oh no! I missed! Oh wait. Oh, I could have saved it. Oh well. We'll go the old way. Oh, I missed. Oh, I missed again. This... Oh, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. I'm in trouble. It's been a while since I've gone this way and I forget it. Oh yeah. Totally forget how to go this way. So that can happen. And I could have... I never fall there. So I was a little confused. Well, I've fallen there before, but not there where I could recover. So I was like, what do I do here? What do I do now? So that was fun. Hope you had fun with that. I did. The panic, the sheer panic of what am I doing? Oh, that was close. A little shock to my butt. Let's keep going. Child is right around the corner. There's stranded the child. So far, so good. The only times I've messed up is, you know, a couple times to fight us, which I'm used to. And then that section just there with the child, which unfortunately can happen. And then we have to go over here and fight this puppet. No, don't hurt me. Let me out of here. So, this is the way of fast traveling through the world. Every zone has a nerve pass. This one just so happens to be right at the edge there, and you can warp yourself back here to World Pillar, which is good because you have one final thing to get from Shidra, and we've got one final thing to we got one final upgrade to do to our weapon. And here he tells us about you know, so far we've destroyed things that don't like me. How am I going to react to destroying creatures that absolutely adore me? Because the section we're getting ready to come up on is filled with a city of people that are preparing for my arrival. They literally have framed their entire existence that one day I was going to show up and destroy everything. And here we have Jan. And he's complaining that it didn't work. He still feels wrong. He misses his face. And, you know, everything's wrong. And oh wait, everything's my fault. And then at the very end, he talks about missing moms. So he blames me for that. And then he plays it off like, oh, ha ha ha, ah, you fell for it. You fell for my ruse of have pity on me. So here he goes, and he's got these uglies next to him. And he summons them because he doesn't want to come down here and fight us himself. And I'm gonna miss the very obvious. Oh, I'm getting distracted. And that happens with Jan's fight. Way too often. Is worrying about what he's getting ready to throw down at me and not catching or parrying the enemies below. There's a lot going on in the fight, and sometimes it does exactly what it just happens. So here we go again. Because like he does have those red pokers. He's got those bombs. Both of the enemies have very, very strong attacks. As you just saw, they comboed me. Another big fight where if you get out of rhythm of the fight, bad things happen. Now, if I'm a little more patient, which I will be for this time because I don't want to do this fight again. If you're patient, Jan will take them out on his own if you dodge around enough. Of course, where, you know, we get in trouble as speedrunners, we want to do the fight as fast as possible. And so we tend to rush that fight a little bit, and next thing you know, I have to do it 3 times. And then once his buddies are down, he decides to instead of using abilities that I can not dodge and he could just wear me out eventually, he decides to throw things I can actually return to him. Very odd strategy. Not something I recommend if you're fighting being that can whoop 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 absorb and return items to damage me. Not exactly what I would call a smart stratagem. So here's a lovely little section where we get to use the pull ability with a lot of braking platforms that appear to be made out of some sort of wax. We get this very, very lovely music to go through the area. The reason I equip the Maul Axe here is the glaive attack sometimes doesn't let you recover from it, and the carved sword is just too heavy and slow. So yeah, I equip the Maul Axe because it's a nice quick hit, and we just move on with our day. So here we go to Cenotaph City. They have been waiting for us for a long, long time. And they've built all of this for me. They have polished and prepped and built for the sole purpose that I'm going to arrive and destroy them all. They are so happy to see me. Call me the Great Destroyer. And are showing me the way. There's no enemies to fight. In fact, from this point on in the game, the only enemies that I have to fight are bosses. So, if you're playing through this casually and go through this area, I highly recommend exploring the city. There's a lot of fun little things that they have here for the Great Destroyer. I'm gonna just take some safety here. A little more strength, a little more stamina. Or a little more health, a little more stamina. Boop. Then we enter the final performance, where they, all these ballerinas and the performer are here to test my final skills. There's a lovely music piece that plays throughout. This fight is extremely challenging and tests your knowledge of everything that you've done to this point. It is a hard fight to learn, but once you learn it and once you get good at it, it's a lot of fun. Ouch. I say as I get hit by something basic. Used to be in early builds of the game, you could actually kill him on the way up. I think they increased his health so that wasn't a thing anymore. And here he likes to mix up his red attacks and his normal attacks, and that's why I say learning this fight is fun, because any one of these can kill you pretty quickly, and I like to give myself a lot of space around here. Go! Glad I did the health upgrade. Now I enter what a good little damage phase, because he's got to keep flinging that ballerina at me, and I'm going to keep that stack of the year fledgling up, and it's fun, right? It also, my parries to the ballerina restore my stamina. And I'm gonna let her hit me there at the end. Of course, if you get hit, after receiving those stacks, you lose them. All right. Oh, thank you. Thank you, TFB. There we go. Then you talk to him, and he's so grateful for this final performance. And now he invites you to eat all of Cenotaph City. Oh, let me stretch after that. That is a fight that took me what feels like forever to learn. The first time I did that, or the first time we played through Grime, that fight took quite some time to learn. And for our wonderful performance, we get double jump. So now we get to test some terrain with the double jump. So here we get to go to, oh, come on. Let me in. We get to go to a section called Pale Sky. There's some extra lore that gets dropped up here that that I have forgotten. But basically this is a place where the key to life in this world is called breath. And there's a lot of breath here. We actually cannot die while we are in the Pale Sky. Because you even see it in the background from time to time. Strands of breath just flowing through it. And it's a big old platforming section. Lots of lots of dissolving platforms. That, you know. And lots of pulls. So if I get quiet during this section, I apologize. A lot of focus. So that I don't screw it up. He says as he almost screws it up. But this is a fun little section. It basically makes sure you understand all of the platforming and what your abilities can do. Another section that actually took a little bit of time to learn and get the hang of, you know, where exactly am I jumping, what order do I dash and jump in, you know, that kind of thing. How do I make it up to that platform? Do I double jump here? Do I double jump there? How does this work? This area basically teaches you all of that. Ooh, that was very, very close. We get one more what I consider breather section, where we have a platform, and then it's gonna get mean on us here in a minute. Right about now, as you can see. That, whoop. That was fun to drop into the first time. It was like, oh yeah, you're just, because it had been safety the entire time, and then there's that, and it goes, oh, never mind, this isn't safe anymore. Have fun. Now this area tests you by doing a platforming section where you don't really have any pulls, so it tests your ability to climb on ladders, double jump, and dash. And if you paid attention earlier, hitting these spiky vine things will shatter me and send me back to wherever I came from. And then they decide to add electricity so you couldn't pass through them. And here we go. Can I get liftoff? I got liftoff. All right. I'm gonna test something here real quick. Yep, made it. And we'll take this for safety because we're about to approach the final boss. And, well, he's a handful. Alright, so the stone we picked up from the vulture was used as bait. And guess who's waiting there in the shadows? He's gonna slither on up with his glowy eyes and take his sweet time. And it's Shidra. So Shidra has sent me around so that all over the world so he could set up this trap for me. And there's that little ball the boulder head took him. So he has spent the entire game setting this trap up, and he offers me as one final act I can just succumb and let this kill me. But of course we're not going to do that. What I'm doing is kinship percent, which means I have to fight all bosses, all progression bosses. The other run would be weakness, which you would give up there. So, we start a party. Now, Shidra could be, oh no, that hurt. And that's why we take safety surrogates, because that can happen. Now, thankfully, we don't have to go through all that again, and I can just do this, but maybe with less greed? Question mark? Or no, you're just gonna do a better pattern. Okay. So Shidra has 4 or 5 attacks that he does randomly. He does them in random order per fight. I've never seen 2 fights the same. And he just does whatever he wants. So he keeps you guessing every time you fight him. I personally like to go to the middle for the most of the things in the fight. He makes me pay for that too. There's only two attacks you can deflect, and he just did them in order. And then there's that one, which started the downfall earlier. This rock smash is pretty much a one-shot kill no matter how much health you have. Here at a halfway point, he'll summon the puppets, and he goes back and heals while these lovely fellows distract me. And by distract me, I mean they give me the ability to heal. Actually, so you drop them down quickly. It took a little bit longer than I like, but that's okay. We'll recover. Now, with what I do there, he gives you two of the projectiles that... Oh, no! He gives you two projectiles you can deflect back at him and also heal a little bit. I usually only go for one because I like to pay attention to what his next attack's going to be. And when you're doing the second attack, or when you're doing the both of them, it can get a little dicey. So we're doing all right here. He was nice that time. The recovery from that attack is also something I pay attention to because he can do some nasty combos. Okay, we're good. That's it. And by that's it, I mean we're getting ready to do a Metroid-style escape. One of my favorite styles of getting out of a level. If we take our sweet time, down below us is come on, give it to me. Is a pit that, you know, is gonna take me out unless there we go. Now we're gonna start by coming over here because his first attack of this phase is right there, and I'm gonna dash my butt over here and get that one. I don't have enough to get that stamina left to get that, but you know, that's it. And then he questions all of his choices, wonders if there's anything else he could have done, and we finish him off. In a particular bloody fashion. And finally we get the ability to warp around with surrogates. Just in case you had missed anything and want to explore things before you finish the game. So what we're getting ready to do is go up the Peak of Creation, which is another platforming section, and we'll see what time we get when we get out of here. Probably around 1:12. Unless I decide to forget certain jumps, which is entirely possible. Again, another area where it's testing to see if you know how to combine all of your abilities to get through different obstacles, even though this is the last obstacle you got to get through. Pretty much this is just a victory lap. There is some lore stuff here if you collect all of the beacons throughout the game, which reveal the map, obviously. Whoops. Oh, right. This is the one that always throws me off, because I think I have to do something special for it, and I don't. Then I usually do that as well, because I get in a rhythm and I decide to go into that wall. That's okay. Ah. And here we go. If I can make the jump. So time will be when I hit the beam of light. And time. Oh, that was a good run. Yeah, we died a couple times. Yeah, we messed up. Let's see. You subtract. Yeah, that was nearly good. Nearly great. Still great. We completed it. But yeah, that is Grime. And here at the end of Kinship, the Kinship ending shows us absorbing the final little bits of stuff at the peak of creation and joining our spiral heart kin in the universe. So lots of black holes up in here. So, with that, that is Grime. And if you enjoyed the game, I hope you enjoyed the game. It was a joy playing it. And we'll stop here and see what my in-game time is, because it always differs a little bit because of the menu exiting. So let's just check that out real quick. And 54 minutes. That's awesome. So, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed that run. And I'll see you next time.